better than the alternative outcome of losing 2-1 to Grambling. On this, we can agree, correct?
If you disagree with that, you got some mental issues.
But it was only 2-1 against Grambling, and perhaps therein lies the rub. Mississippi State played a clean game defensively, did not commit an error. Clearly, they pitched it well, only gave up 1 run and 5 hits. But what has been a little bit of an early season trend continued in a big way yesterday. Chris Lamonis told us on Monday that we're figuring out our ball club. And I would point to this message that we got on the C Spire text line just a few minutes ago from Chase. I'm hoping Limo rolls out a lineup tonight that makes all State fans go, oh, okay then. And it becomes apparent he was obviously tinkering with the young guys, and our real lineup will start tonight. Or by the weekend, I hope. That's from Chase in Columbus.
Who do you think I don't think Justin Foscue and Tanner Allen are walking through that door. Who do you expect to show up that hasn't played yet? I don't know where you're going there, Chase.
I'd say, who might he be referring to?
I have no idea. Considering the young guys have been a couple of better hitters, Aaron Downs has gotten a couple starts in a row and has gotten some hits. Hunter Hines has been a pretty decent hitter. But, I mean, I don't know who he's expecting to show up and you know, take charge by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. So what did you take away from yesterday?
That something is just not clicking for Mississippi State at the plate, and it's been going on since the start of the season, and I don't quite know what it is. Granted, they face some really bad pitching, and you would think you'd be able to jump all over that, but they haven't been able to, and that makes you worried that when they face good pitching, they're going to be struggling, and they're going to face good pitching tonight in Pearl with Southern Miss. So, you know, and people talk about, oh, well, you know, it's cold and the bats. It's cold in Oxford, man. It's cold there, too.
In Knoxville.
No, in Knoxville, yeah, it's been cold there. It's been cold, you know, I don't know if it's cold in Baton Rouge or not, but, I mean, other teams are hitting. So I never buy into the whole, you know, the weather. This isn't, you know, football and it's snowing outside. So State's got to get the bats going. And, you know, so many guys that you expected more of. You know, Kellum Clark doesn't have a hit. Doesn't have a hit yet. You're not really seeing power from James. James has 1 home run. Hancock, I think, has 1. Logan Tanner has 1. But they haven't been as consistent game to game as you might like. Brad Cumbus is your leading hitter. He's playing great baseball.
Yeah.
But, you know, they got to figure out a way. They got to figure out like 4 or 5 more guys in this lineup to hit like that.
When you look at Mississippi State's total offensive numbers, they're not lovely. They're hitting 268 as a team through 8 games.
And that's 8 games against, I mean, Long Beach State, Northern Kentucky, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Grambling.
Yeah.
Not good.
Brad Cumbus has got 3 home runs. Tanner Leggett has got 2. And then you got a handful of guys that have single home runs. 11 team home runs through 8 games. 38 walks, 58 strikeouts. It's just that the numbers aren't great. And baseball is a game that is numbers driven. Chase says it's called wishful thinking. I'm quite aware that they aren't just sitting there with 8 guys ready to take the field like a line shift. Literal takes only from now on. Got it. Sorry. Hey, Dad.
How much of this look, we heard, you know, the day before opening day, we're not thinking about the national championship. We're focused, all this stuff. How much of this can be attributed to the fact that they are hungover from winning a championship? I mean, it's a phenomenon that happens in sports all the time. It would not be unique to Mississippi State to struggle out of the gates the year after you win a championship, especially when it's the first one in the school's history. This isn't Nick Saban's Alabama where they just keep winning them so it doesn't matter. I'm going to watch film on the plane. This is a little bit different. Is it as simple as they're hungover. They weren't focused because they put national champions on the wall, and it's easy when you look at Long Beach and Northern Kentucky to see that national champions on the wall and not take it seriously. Are they not going to be a good hitting team, or is it somewhere in the middle? What's the truth here?
Hey, Dad says that Tanner Allen's the best player in the history of Mississippi State.
That's what I say.
That's Hey Dad's argument. We talked to Everett. He had a different answer for that. You polled 100 Mississippi State baseball fans, and you might get a dozen names for best player in school history. Yeah. Here's what I think Tanner Allen did, though. I think confidence oozed out of his pores. He was looking for the opportunity to be at the plate in a big moment to deliver. And I think that confidence rubbed off on the people around him. And before it was Tanner Allen, it was Jake Mangum in that exact situation. Because we had the conversation. You remember the conversation we had, Borky, last year a lot was who's going to fill the role that Jake Mangum has played on this Mississippi State team for the last 3.5 years.
And not only that, Richard, but they had other guys like with Mangum, you had Elijah McNamee, who relished the big moment. Yeah. You had Rowdy Jordan with Tanner Allen, relished the big moment, loved to be up there.
Just not in March, or February and March.
Right, February, March, no. What big moments are in February and March for college baseball? None, I would submit. So now, I mean, you got to find one guy, let alone a second guy, who game on the line wants to be at the plate, and they haven't found that guy yet.
And I don't even mean game on the line. I just mean I'm wondering if at this point of the year, not saying it won't happen, that maybe at this point of the year, Mississippi State has not found its leader that everybody rallies around, that comes up with the big moment, comes up with the big hit that everybody believes in, that everybody's got confidence in, and that confidence kind of goes out across the way and rubs off on everybody else a little bit. And maybe that person emerges and maybe it doesn't. And look, I don't know that that's the answer. But, Borky, you were asking that question a second ago. Is it because they want to I don't think it right now has anything to do with, well, we won a title last year, so that's all that matters. Or we can just roll them out there and we'll win. I mean, maybe there's an element to that, but I think that exists anytime you play Northern Kentucky. Or anytime you play a SWAC school and you're in the SEC. I think you expect to go out and just win, period. But I don't think that's what Mississippi State's issue has been so far.
That's the thing right now. We all know this is a talented baseball team. They're playing poorly. And this is what happens when you do that. Everybody's scratching their head and wondering what's the issue. And it's just not something you can just put your finger on. They're just playing poorly. And like you said a couple days ago, we could look up in a couple of weeks and they've rolled off 9, 10, 12 wins in a row, and we're wondering, why were we so down on this team a few weeks ago? But they have to do that. They have to snap out of this haze that they're in right now. Tonight's a good opportunity to do that. Big crowd in Jackson, and an opportunity, against an in-state rival.
That
a
deep
good
sigh,
team.
by the way, while you were talking, was, you know how good the weather's going to be tonight?
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
Ooh.
But this is an opportunity, maybe, playing in a big game in front of a big crowd against a good team like this will get them going. But at the same time, if they play like they've played the past few games, Southern's going to beat them down tonight. It's going to be a great win for the Golden Eagles.
It's going to drop from 72 to 56 from start to finish of the game. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be chilly at the end. You probably better bring a jacket.
Bring a light jacket.
Bring a little pullover. Probably a better idea to wear long pants and short pants. But, what do you? But it's a whole lot better than when the high last Saturday was 41.
Gross.
Hey, that was gross. So big game tonight. Big game tonight. especially going into the weekend against one of the hottest teams in college baseball. Tulane is smoking right now.
Yeah, they were a top 10 RPI team the last time I looked.
So they won a game this past weekend, or it may have been the midweek. Either way, they won a game recently where they won 23-1 and didn't hit a ball over the fence.
That is hitting the baseball.
That's